Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And boy, it was a nice one out there today, wasn't it? Still just slightly below where we should be as far as temperatures go. But boy, lots of sunshine out there, not much wind to speak of, and just a really nice November 1st day all across north central Washington. This shot from Wenatchee Heights, a spot we really like because it's a beautiful shot of the Wenatchee Valley and that blue sky out there this afternoon. We will see a nice warming trend as we move into the upcoming weekend, but also not much happening as far as mixing goes, and that means a lot of stagnant air will be around. In fact, we have a stagnant air advisory for almost all of north central Washington. That will go through the upcoming weekend into next week. We could see some burn bans by the time we get into Monday. We're talking wood stoves, fireplaces that aren't needed primarily for heat, because that's the kind of weather we expect. Very quiet with warmer weather and light winds. And we will talk much more weather in your forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The October 17th plane crash in Alaska that killed a Wenatchee man continues to paralyze the remote fishing village of Unalaska. A man accused of stealing the skulls of bighorn sheep kept by the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife will serve 8 months in jail. And the latest report from the Washington Employment Security Department reveals a mix of good and not so good news for the Wenatchee statistical area. But first, we begin tonight. A 43-year-old Oroville man has been arrested for manslaughter after a woman was found shot to death on 9 Mile Road near Oroville. 31-year-old Ashley Nelson was found dead at the scene Wednesday afternoon after Okanogan County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a hunting accident. Brent Blanchard of Oroville, who made the initial call to law enforcement, was later arrested for that killing. The sheriff's office reported a handgun was recovered at the scene. Well, the October 17th plane crash in Alaska that killed a Wenatchee man continues to paralyze the remote fishing village of Unalaska. 38-year-old David Oltman of Wenatchee was the only fatality after the Peninsula Airways flight with 42 people aboard went off the runway while landing in Unalaska. Commercial flights were then suspended into and out of Unalaska by both Peninsula Airways and Alaska Air. Resident Jennifer Wynn, who took these photos of the crash, said that that's meant sick children and adults who can't get medical care and has stranded thousands of Dutch Harbor fishermen, among other problems. There are limited charter flights to Anchorage, but they cost $1,850 for a one-way ticket, she said. The mayor of Unalaska declared an emergency this week that allows the city to pay for up to 2 charter flights a week for people in need. The cause of the crash remains under investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board. In other news, a man accused of stealing the skulls of bighorn sheep kept by the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife will serve 8 months in jail. Dennis Leroy Sproul, a 56-year-old Wenatchee resident, was charged with first-degree theft for a January break-in at the agency's storage area in which 4 bighorn skulls were stolen. Wildlife officers found the skulls buried in Sproul's backyard, and this week he pleaded to a lesser charge of possessing stolen property. Chelan County Judge Leslie Allen also ordered Sproul to pay a $500 fine. A co-defendant in the case, Rain Morrison Borgen of Cashmere, awaits trial later this month. Well, the latest report from the Washington Employment Security Department reveals a mix of good and not so good news for the Wenatchee statistical area. Local monthly employment rates have crept upwards during the past 10 months from December 2018 through September 2019, but rates are still relatively low when compared with corresponding monthly rates during the past 10 years. Year over year, monthly total non-farm employment growth rates in the Wenatchee MSA have been less robust than monthly growth rates across Washington during each of the past 12 months. However, the local non-farm market either stabilized or added jobs for 82 consecutive months, going back to May 2012 and going through February 2019. That expansion has resumed in each of the past 6 months from April through September. Coming up next, if it's too cold to play outside, a familiar indoor space is about to open. 2 Grand Coulee men are contenders for a Native American Music Award this weekend. And over recent weeks, state, federal, and partner biologists have been releasing fishers in the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest in the North Cascades as part of an effort to restore the species to Washington State. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Welcome back. In another news, if it's too cold to play outside, a familiar indoor space is about to open. The Wenatchee Parks and Recreation Office opens its indoor playground Wednesday at the Locatel Event Center at Pybus Public Market. Organizers offer a wide variety of toys for children ages 4 and under, along with the opportunity to meet new friends. The program runs from 9 a.m. to noon each Monday through Thursday, starting on November 6th. The cost is $1 for Wenatchee residents and $1.50 for residents outside the city. 2 Grand Coulee men are contenders for a Native American Music Award this weekend. Colville flutist Tim Brooks and engineer Farron So Happy worked with visiting musician Joan Hamill to create the song Nature Walk, which is nominated in NAMI's Best Folk Recording category. The 3 collaborated on the song 2 years ago while Hamill was a visiting artist at the Lake Roosevelt National Recreation Area. The NAMIs take place this weekend at Niagara Falls, New York. You can listen and download Nature Walk at the award site. That's NativeAmericanMusicAwards.com. Well, this was the scene earlier this week in the Cascades when State Fish and Wildlife Department biologists released another fisher into the forest. Over recent weeks, state, federal, and partner biologists have been releasing fishers in the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest North Cascades as part of an effort to restore the species to Washington State. The animals were captured in Alberta, Canada as part of a multi-year project to reintroduce approximately 80 fishers to the North Cascades. Fishers are related to wolverines and otters and are native to the forests of Washington, including the Cascade Mountain Range. Fishers prey on various smaller mammals, mountain beavers, squirrels, snowshoe hares, and fishers are one of the few predators of, yes, porcupines. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Are you like many who are lacking in their retirement plan but are skeptical to talk to an advisor? Are you concerned about where you should put your money or who to trust? At Solomon Financial, we are more about the people we serve than policies or products. We are a fee-based fiduciary with the mission of giving you the peace of mind so you can live the retirement of your dreams. If you have any of these questions or concerns, we'd welcome you to come see us.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, hundreds of kids in all sorts of costumes that were a little scary, cute, and superpowered descended on downtown Wenatchee last night for the annual Trick or Treat on the Avenue. With their parents in tow, the kids collected candy from merchants and enjoyed special presentations by Link Transit and the North Central Regional Library. Take a look. Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast, and by judging that video, we were out there last night too. It wasn't bad, was it? It got a little bit chilly after dark, but all in all, a pretty nice trick-or-treating night last night around North Central Washington. What a day today, and what a beautiful shot from our Sky-Fi Tower camera looking down at the Wenatchee Valley. Lots of blue sky out there today, although we did see a little bit of high cloudiness. Really didn't amount to much, and just a gorgeous shot from our Wenatchee Sky-Fi Tower camera. Wenatchee here, East Wenatchee over here, and the beautiful blue waters of the Columbia River. Let's take a look at what happened earlier this morning. Can you believe it? Snowmaking began this morning up at Mission Ridge. Temperatures definitely favorable for snowmaking, and you can see the snow beginning to pile up. It's that time of year, folks. Snowmaking officially begins today, and temperatures, as I mentioned, remain cool, although we are seeing a bit of a warm up unofficially today, 48 degrees, and I'm sure you've noticed we've been creeping up about 3 to 4 degrees each day this week so far. Still below where we should be though. 52 was our normal high temperature. 27 was our low this morning, so still a little bit below where we should be as far as lows go. 36 is normal. Record high was back in 1997 at 64 degrees. Record low, a chilly 15, and that was set back in 2002 at 6.39 inches. Still been holding there for a while now as far as precipitation goes since January 1st. But believe it or not, that's still almost about 9/10 of an inch above where we should be for this time of year. Sunrise this morning, 7:44. Sunset this afternoon at 5:44. Now let's take a peek into your weekend and see what high temperatures look like as we get into our upcoming weekend on Saturday. And I think you're going to like them as we take a look at around North Central Washington. 51 for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. We will be the warm spot in Wenatchee at 52 degrees tomorrow. Also Omak at 52. A beautiful one in Chelan tomorrow at 51 degrees. So that's pretty much where we should be for temperatures, and those will just go up as we make our way into the end of the weekend and the first part of next week. Tonight, expect mostly clear skies, still those chilly temperatures, that blue indicating 20s and 30s, and these are teens and even colder temperatures all the way down into Denver. Denver set record cold temperatures today, and that will continue for the weekend. Not so for us, though. Big ridge of high pressure still churning out in the Pacific, and that's going to keep us nice and mild, mostly sunny. We will see a warm up on Saturday with temperatures actually above normal as we get into Saturday, and especially on Sunday. Partly cloudy skies here. The lime green and greenish yellow colors indicates upper 50s to near 60-degree weather, and that's what we'll see across most of central and eastern Washington as we move through the weekend. Monday could be our warmest day of all, where we will even flirt with 60-degree temperatures here in the Wenatchee area. Almost all of southeastern Washington will see 60 degrees on Monday. Temperatures will remain above normal on Tuesday too, but you can see this high pressure is getting squeezed out a little bit as a larger area of low pressure now from the Gulf of Alaska continues to push onshore here in western Washington. So that means increasing clouds for us on Wednesday. It will be just slightly cooler too as our flow becomes more northerly. On Thursday, partly cloudy skies. We will see definitely cooler temperatures on Thursday. And yes, for the first time in a long time, possibly isolated showers will creep over the Cascades into our area, bringing us a chance for the wet stuff late next week. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing 7-day forecast. We will drop down tonight to 32 degrees, as I mentioned, as we get into the weekend. 52 on Saturday under mostly sunny skies, 55 for Sunday. Look at that temperature on Monday, 57 degrees with a low of 36. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 56 degrees. We'll cool down a little bit by midweek next week, 52 Wednesday, with a chance for showers on Thursday, but still seasonal with high temperatures of 51 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Mary Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Some jobs take more than skill. They require something deeper, an innate devotion to the communities in which we live. At Gisa Credit Union, we help you support law enforcement, firefighters, teachers, and veterans. With every purchase you make with a Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. We'll start the sports off with a look at yesterday's Les Schwab Prep Soccer scoreboard semifinals. CWAC District Tournament. Ellensburg down to Fred at 3-1. Selah got by Othello 4-1. Next up for the CWAC Tuesday at Quincy with Ephrata facing Othello at 5 o'clock for third and fourth, followed by Ellensburg and Selah for the district championship at 7 o'clock. Big Nine held its cross-country district meet in Yakima yesterday. Wenatchee was able to advance its girls team to state with a second-place finish. Wenatchee boys just missed placing third. Davis's Rennell Christensen won the girls' race, while Eisenhower's Jonas Price took first place on the boys' side. Prep schedule in the next couple of days. First of all, Big Nine swim and dive district championships continue at Moses Lake Alliance Pool today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's final round starts at 11 o'clock. Caribou Trail Lake District Soccer Tournament gets underway at Lebofto Field of the Apple Bowl tomorrow. Chelan facing Okanagan in a loser-out game at 4. That'll be followed by the district championship between Cascade and Cashmere at 6. Tournament continues Tuesday with the winner of of Chelan Okanagan facing the loser of Cascade and Cashmere. Eastmont and Moses Lake wrap up the Big Nine regular season tomorrow at Wildcat Stadium with the league title on the line. The winner would get the number 1 seed into the district tournament now, unless Moses Lake wins in a scoreless shootout. Tiebreaker point system would give Eastmont number 1 seed, Moses Lake number 2, and Wenatchee number 3, all 3 sharing the Big Nine title. If Moses Lake shuts Eastmont out in regulation, Moses Lake would be the number 1 seed, Wenatchee number 2, and Eastmont number 3, Chiefs being the league champs. We'll have the game live on the NCW Life channel with yours truly and Matt Wiesen on the call, 12:45 pregame, 1 o'clock kickoff. Big Nine football schedule tonight looks like this. Eastmont hosts Moses Lake at 7, and we'll have that live on the NCW Life channel. We'll talk more about that coming up. Wenatchee's on the road for a non-league game tonight in Walla Walla at 7. Even though it doesn't mean anything to the Panthers for the league title to be determined next week against Eastmont, Coach Scott Devereaux says it matters a lot for Wenatchee's future.
We humbled them a bit on Monday. That's part of our job as coaches. We found some things on film we can get better at, and we definitely made sure we did that. I rode them pretty hard this week. Can't be any let up. You know, this game against Walla Walla is like a playoff game. It's a seeding game. It's a game we should win, but the guys got to go down there with the right frame of mind. Every team is seeded now by that committee, and they look at everything pretty tight, and we don't want to have a loss against a 500 football team. That would definitely hurt our seeding. And we need to come off a game feeling good and fine-tuned, knowing we're going into another playoff game. And so we practiced pretty well yesterday, and I think we're ready to go.
Wenatchee's Nate Blauman is having a record-pace senior season, 1,239 yards rushing, 17 rushing touchdowns. He's also caught a couple of passes, over 1,500 all-purpose yards. Not bad for a kid who is going to quit playing all sports his freshman year.
I kind of went through some hard stuff during basketball season, and I was just going through a super hard time. I lost like all my confidence in myself, and I kind of decided that spring. Dev came over to my house and talked to me about playing football. He really wanted me to play, and at that point I was a quarterback. My freshman year I just had 38 touchdowns, and so he really wanted me to play, and so he talked to me a little bit, and I decided to play. And that first spring practice, I was kind of overwhelmed with all the plays and stuff because I didn't know any of them, and I just wasn't confident in myself at that time. And so the next day I asked Dev if I could switch to running back, and so he switched me to running back, and I became a running back from then on, and continued. I decided to play basketball. It took me a while to think about, but I played again, and from then on I've played. But yeah, I was pretty close to not playing sports anymore.
Now, Devereaux said he thought Blauman's teammates were joking when they said that he was going to quit, but the more he heard, the more he knew he needed to talk with him.
He just didn't felt like it was worth it anymore at that particular time, and he told everybody he was done. And my part of the job of being a coach is trying to get the best guys. And so I called his dad, and we talked and went down and had some time with the Nate Blauman family. And glad I did, because all his teammates love him. Lovable kid, and he practices the right way and he plays the right way.
Now, Blauman said he's thinking about walking on at WSU, wants to continue playing at the next level. His advice to anyone else going through a rough time?
Don't give in to negativity and the other things that can come with sports. Just think of the positive things and work hard. When you want to work for these guys and yourself and prove yourself, to a lot of people. Just fight through it. Like it's totally worth it in the end for sure. Because you'll look back in many years and be like, dang, I wish I would have kept playing. But if you stick it out, then you'll be pretty happy with the results usually.
Blauman and his teammates will kick off in Walla Walla tonight at 7 o'clock. All eyes will also be on Sunnyside at Davis, with the Grizzlies coming off a shutout loss to Wenatchee. Another loss, and next week's game against Eastmont is for all the marbles. Speaking of Eastmont, they're home tonight against Moses Lake in our Friday Night Lights game on NCW Life channel. Eastmont is blowing away the league in team rushing with nearly 2,400 yards. Coach Michael Don likes to share the load there and hopes to continue with the successful recipe.
We got 4 guys that really divvy up the carries. Carson Talley gets a little bit more than everyone else. He's the little bit of the workhorse, but Austin, I think, has 75 carries this year. And then if you combine our freshman and sophomore, Austin and Corbin, they have like 68 carries. So it's pretty balanced out. A lot of guys get touches. Nobody has more than 9 touchdowns on the year. Everybody gets their opportunity to carry the ball and do what they're able to do. And it's hard to defend when you don't know who's going to get it.
Now, Don says he expects Moses Lake to provide a challenge tonight and that he needs to keep things simple for his guys.
Anytime I try to get too fancy, we end up screwing it up. So I got to get out of my own way and just do what we do well and play football and do it the way we've been taught and the way we've been doing it all year. And we expect to go out and get their best effort, though, because their kids are playing for pride, not having the best year, but they've hung in games here and there. The Wenatchee game, they were tough till halftime and then kind of got pulled away from at the end. And you can't let teams hang around, so we need to go out and take care of business early and not overlook them. That's why we're prepping just Moses Lake this week. It'd be really easy to look ahead and do other things, but our kids are focused on the task at hand, and they've done a great job of that this week.
6:45 pregame right here on the NCW Life Channel, Eastmont and Moses Lake. Let's also take a look at what's happening under the lights and other high school football. Casper travels to Peshastin to face the Cascade Kodiaks in the Pear Bowl. Since they began handing out the trophy in 2003, Casper's dominated 15 out of 16 games. However, 3 of the past 4 Pear Bowls have been determined by less than a touchdown. Bulldog win tonight, give Casper the number 2 seed headed to state out of the CTL. Freda and Quincy finish up the CWAC regular season tonight with the Tigers at Grandview and the Jackrabbits at Wapato. Playoffs for the other 6 teams be played tomorrow in Grandview beginning at 1 o'clock. Bees also finish up the regular season tonight. Pateras hosting Sunnyside Christian at 6. The rest of the kickoff at 7. Lake Roosevelt at Brewster. Orville hosts Tonasket. Mabton's at Manson. Waterville Mansfield at Entiat. Soap Lake travels to Bridgeport tomorrow at 2. ACH will try to bounce back from its only loss at Liberty Bell at 4 o'clock. College football this weekend. Washington hosts number 9 Utah at Husky Stadium tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Fox. Eastern Washington hosts Northern Arizona on the red carpet at 1:05. Central Washington in California to face Azusa Pacific at 6:30. Washington State has a bye. Seahawks hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Sunday at CenturyLink Field. Kickoff on Fox set for 1:05. Seattle begins the second half of the season 6-2. Bucks come in at 2-5. And the Wenatchee Wild home this weekend hosting the Merritt Centennials 7:05. The puck will drop tonight and tomorrow. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And finally tonight, despite the best efforts of state lawmakers, you'll still need to set your clocks back 1 hour before you go to bed Saturday night if you still have clocks that require setting. Daylight saving time will come to an end at 2 a.m. on Sunday, though the state legislature approved and the governor signed a bill to make it year-round. But federal approval is needed for such a change, and that hasn't happened. Fire officials say the twice-a-year clock change is also a good reminder to check the batteries in your smoke alarms. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. On Monday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, it is the 7th and final in our series of interviews for the upcoming November 5th general election. It is for the Wenatchee City Council at-large seat. Linda Harold and Jorge Chacon. That interview will air on Monday. We'll have lots of highlights from a weekend full of sports and, of course, your all-important weather forecast. Provided this show isn't canceled, we will see you Monday morning at 7 a.m. Have a great weekend, everybody. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
NCW Life Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solely on Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solely on Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.